What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another video today talking about backswing speed. What should your backswing speed be? How fast should your actual backswing speed be? And does more speed in the backswing equal more distance? We're going to discuss all this today. Let's get into it. So this might be a little bit controversial, but hear me out. Everybody talks about the more speed you get in the backswing, the more speed you can have at the ball. But I think this is actually completely untrue. In theory, I do understand where that comes from. Essentially, where it's coming from is the faster your backswing happens, the more load you can have in your shaft. That's why I got the lag shot today, so we can overemphasize that load and show you guys that. So the faster your backswing, you can really see, look at how much load that thing has. So in theory, if I can get this shaft loading like this, well, obviously I'm going to be able to get it to snap more at the ball and unload more efficiently. Well, here's the issue with that. The faster your backswing is, the more time it takes at the top to actually get the shaft to fully load. So a lot of that speed is actually lost. Then in transition of going super fast to super slow to super fast again, it's very choppy and it creates a lot of issues of actually applying that speed to the ball, which is why the majority of people that have very, very fast backswings are actually losing club speed. You're not helping yourself, you're hurting yourself. In my opinion, your body needs to act more like a rubber band. You're trying to create lots of tension throughout your entire body so that on your backswing, once the shaft does hit that max load, you're fully ready to go and ready to fire at the ball. If you end up having a really fast backswing, a lot of times you don't get your body tight enough so that on this backswing, everything's kind of loose because you're trying to drive so much this way, trying to get it to go that way so much that you can't be patient and be tight all at the same time. You really lose that in translation as well. You're either going to have a fast backswing or you're going to be able to stay really tight. If I take this club back as fast as I can, I'm not gonna hit the ball yet, but if I take it back as fast as I can, I want you to watch the rest of my body and see how tight it looks like it stays. I'm not loading great, I'm kind of weak on a lot of different areas and everything's just kind of trying to whip fast. Well, if I really slow this backswing down, there's a lot more tension throughout my entire body going so that at the top when it does load, I'm ready to go. I'm like a rubber band ready to snap. Boom, I'm ready to start firing this club. But when I'm quick on it, now all of a sudden my timing is completely off and by the time this thing loads, I'm wanting to go before that thing loads and I can't stay patient enough at the top, especially in that stretched out position, so I lose a lot of speed and translation there. So all I'm talking about here roughly is potential versus application. The potential for more speed is there, but unfortunately our bodies aren't created to actually have that be applicable in the golf swing. When your hands at the top of the swing get to the position long before the shaft does, what happens is you have to be so overly patient, and when you're not, that shaft's gonna start kicking early. It's gonna kick like this. You're gonna have bad timing. Talked all about that in Unloading the Golf Shaft, a video we'll throw up there. But when that happens, you're losing speed in transition and you're gonna lead to a lot worse ball striking. So that's another reason why it could bring down your ball speed having a faster backswing. It's because a slow and methodical backswing where you really let that shaft just load properly is going to lead to more speed, especially ball speed and club speed, because you have control over the golf shaft and you're able to deliver the club more consistent every time, which allows you to put more speed into it as well. So right there is about 3 or 4 different reasons of why in application, a faster backswing is actually not gonna help you to actually put more speed at the ball. In my journey to becoming the fastest guy in the world with the world record at 245 miles per hour ball speed, I actually slowed my backswing down a lot. So I used to have an incredibly fast backswing where I just whipped it back as fast as I could, and then my downswing was about the same speed. I didn't really gain a whole lot more speed and it didn't look very good. So I eventually, throughout my training, started slowing it down a lot more, not necessarily on purpose at first. Later I realized what I was doing, but what I was doing was allowing my hands to actually load better at the top, which allowed the shaft to load better, and then it allowed me to put more speed at the ball versus lose it throughout the entire swing. You want to minimize the areas that you can lose speed and really truly keep it at applying all the speed at the golf ball. So right now, I would say my backswing has about a 3-to-1, maybe 4-to-1 tempo. So if I'm swinging about 160 plus miles per hour, I want my backswing to be around 40 miles per hour, give or take, depending on where it is in the swing. But it's very, if you watch the world record video, we'll throw it on screen, I'm very much a slow and controlled backswing, letting everything load patiently and then truly going. I'm not just whipping it back as fast as I can. There are a few long drivers and a few golfers that do this, but again, I think those are kind of the outliers, and potentially they could even be faster without that because they're having to be overly patient, which can lead to a lot of inconsistencies. So I'm gonna hit a few shots here just to give you further examples of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have a really fast backswing on this swing, and we're gonna see what club speed it is. Okay, that was very difficult to do with the lag shot. We're gonna try that again. I wanna leave that swing in there because there's a few examples we can have from that. Without warming up this, I just decided let's go with a very fast backswing and see what I can do. Clearly screwed up my timing, that's exactly what I'm talking about. When the club goes one way, I have to be so overly patient at the top. I just started my downswing sooner, and that club was still going back, and then that leads to inconsistencies in ball striking because you have no idea where the club is. The club is not following the directions you're giving it because it's still going one way and you're going the other way, and it creates a whole bunch of issues in ball striking, but also issues in speed. Now, it didn't pick up the club speed in that one, so I'm gonna go again, but you can kind of see where I'm going with this right now. Okay, so that swing was 123.9 miles per hour. Effort-wise on that swing was through the roof. That was about all I could give that swing. But what happened is I'm more tired on that swing because that was a lot of work to jam it there. But I had to be so patient at the top to let that shaft load. I was sitting there going, let it load, let it load, let it load. Now try to jam it. And everything's moving in different directions and different speeds. And I didn't feel like I was the fastest at the ball. I honestly felt like I was faster going that way. If you measured it, I probably was faster going that way. Maybe not, but felt like it. So now we're gonna run through that exact same thing, but with a very slow backswing. Now I'm gonna say as slow as possible. So this is not even a normal backswing. This is on one extreme and the other of I'm gonna now go as slow as possible on my backswing. Crazy slow backswing, 125 miles an hour. That backswing right there, that was the slowest thing in the world, led to 2 more miles an hour club speed because the shaft was able to load and I could be more patient and have that rubber band effect that I was waiting, boom, I'm gonna snap it. Versus loosey goosey fast. So that was obviously outside of that 3-to-1, 4-to-1 backswing because you can see how slow. I mean, I took my time with that. So now let's go to about a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 speed ratio of backswing to downswing so that we can see how that actually applies. 128 miles an hour. So that's a perfect example of when you're swinging as fast as you can on the backswing, you're gonna lose so much in translation that it's gonna be slower than your other swings. Now, I'm not saying have an incredibly slow backswing for every swing, but in theory, I would rather you have that slow of a backswing than too fast of a backswing because it's gonna be faster. Now, find your happy medium, find that 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio somewhere in that neighborhood so that you can start applying more speed of the ball, stop losing it in translation to start hitting further drives. Guys, that is it for today. I hope this video helps slow down your backswing. Be more methodical, be more controlled because it will help you in the end. Let me know if you have any questions down below. And until next time, we'll see you later.